This morning, I'm going to get very angry, and then we're also going to get a very great update. All this and more on Good Morning City on the Hill. Well, good morning, City on a Hill. Glad to see you here again for another episode. We've got a lot of great things to talk about. I've got a couple of really just outstanding guests, always great guests, but one in particular that I think you're going to really enjoy hearing from. But first, business as usual. We have some announcements to discuss, and so let's get those out of the way so that we can have all the fun from that point till the end. Number one, we have camps coming up. We have lots of them coming up. Middle school, high school, kids ministry. They are all happening in between June and July. You can access all of those camps on the Church Center app just by clicking at the very bottom where it says sign up. And then scroll through, you'll see the middle school, high school delineation. And then the kids camp this year is themed I Wonder. The middle school, high school camps are $100 per kid. Emma Cunnington won up to Aaron Nelson by making the kids ministry camp $99 per kid. So you save $1 if you have a kid who is still in the 2nd through 5th or 3rd through 5th. I'm not real clear on what she's decided to do there. I think we're actually doing 2nd through 5th this year, so that's kind of exciting. Either way, all of the sign-up information is in Church Center, so if you haven't downloaded the app yet, what are you even doing? Download it, check it out. You can pay, you can do the whole registration from start to finish on there. We've got some really fantastic plans for every one of these camps. Lots of great activities. Our safety protocols are in place. We've met as a pastoral team here recently and feel very, very good about these camps this year. I think that your kids are going to be very blessed. It's a great way to kind of come out of a very confusing school year for a lot of these kiddos who were operating, in person or on Zoom or some hybrid of the two. Just gets them outdoors. There's going to be no electronics. We're not bringing video games. We're not allowing phones. It is going to kind of disconnect them from all of the normal distractions and put them in an environment where they are with other people their age and other leaders who love Jesus and want them to love Jesus as well. So take advantage of that. It is going to be absolutely fantastic. It's at Refuge Ranch. If you need help monetarily, don't let that be something that prevents your child from coming. Let us know about that. We have reduced the cost obviously pretty drastically since we've begun doing our camps at Refuge Ranch because if you were doing camps before, they were in the $300 to $400 range, but I recognize that you may still need monetary help coming out of a difficult year with COVID, and so let us know. If we can help you, we would love to be able to do that for you. Number 2, June 2nd, Wednesday night, 6:45 to 8:15, our next round of Freedom Groups begin. This is our summer semester. We are actually covering the 4th one today in our Freedom Group exposé. We've covered all 4 of them over the last 4 weeks with Brian or Vanessa. Vanessa's back on today to talk about the last one. And so, this is a great opportunity to jump into a very practical, very helpful freedom group and learn a little bit more about the things that you potentially struggle with that prevent you from walking in the full freedom that is guaranteed to you by the blood of Jesus. So would love to see you interact in one of those groups. They're only 12 to 13 weeks long, so pretty minimal in terms of time. And there's childcare, so you can't beat that. And there's an R&R service right before it. I mean, really, Wednesdays are just kind of the day, right, for all the good things to happen apart from Sundays. So hope to see you there. Number 3, we have Vacation Bible School happening. And again, cannot overemphasize this enough. We need volunteers. We need help over there. It's June 24th to 28th. These vacation Bible schools are so important for exposing kids to the gospel. We see kids every year come to faith in Christ, but the only way it works is if we have people who are there manning stations, leading groups, interacting, being a part of the whole thing. It's a lot of work. It's Monday through Friday. It's a busy time, 6:30 to 9 p.m., 8:30 if they're in pre-K. But it is the most rewarding thing, one of the most rewarding things you can do throughout the year at this church. Seeing those kids light up when they discover these biblical truths is just, man, there's nothing like it. So I hope to see you step up and do that. And in the kids ministry in general, we need help over there. We're right now, it's kind of a weird time for us as a church. We're excelling in so many places, and God is building us in so many places. The one area where we're really struggling is finding people to volunteer to support these ministries so that they can continue to flourish. And so if you find yourself on Sunday mornings coming to one service and that's it, and you could find it within yourself to sacrifice a little bit more of your time and use one of those Sunday morning services at 9 or 10:30 to serve in the kids ministry, we would be so grateful for that. We're not going to just throw you in there, feed you to the wolves. You'll be with someone that knows what they're doing, have some training. You're not being required to teach anything. You would just be there facilitating and passing out snacks and basically just loving on these kids, reinforcing what the teachers are doing. We have teachers in place that are really great. So I want you to just pray about that and really consider, would God have you go over there and serve for a season of your life? It would be really helpful to not only us, but to the children, most importantly. So two great places to plug in there, both for Vacation Bible School and for the kids ministry. Last but not least, the Exchange Bible Study for Women has been going on now for a month. And one kind of special part of this Bible study that makes it unique from the other ones is that the last Monday of every month that they meet, they're going to have a kind of worship time where they're going to be incorporating the topic that they've been studying that month into the worship environment. So this month in May, they have been studying prayer. And so Monday night will be an emphasis of prayer in worship. And so it's going to be a worship night for ladies. Again, same time as always, 6:45 to 8:15. And so if you haven't been coming, it's a great time to plug in, come and worship, begin building relationships with other gals. I've heard nothing but fantastic things about this group. And so hopefully if you haven't come yet, you will. You will not regret it. Now, coming up next, I am bringing in, as I mentioned a moment ago, the very special, the very one and only Vanessa Elswick to talk freedom groups, talk about anger, talk about being angry, being a hot little potato. So we'll see you right back. Well, here we are with the fourth session of the Freedom Group Exposé. We have brought back the one-of-a-kind Vanessa Elswick.
Thank you.
Glad to have you on. And we are talking about the lovely, ministering, encouraging topic of anger. Anger. So we have our group for anger workshop, I think is
yes,
how we
that was Alan
it.
named it.
Alan named it that. Okay, very good. And so I got some questions for you today to help people kind of get a better idea of what this group is about. So first of all, let's get the elephant out of the room. Anger is not the prettiest topic.
Exactly.
Right? Kind of scary. So tell us a little bit about it.
Well, people do try to avoid. If somebody gets angry,
Right.
people are up and they're out of there.
Absolutely.
But, anger is just an emotion. It's an irritation when a need has not been met or when something that we expected didn't happen.
Right.
And there's different levels of anger. There's rage, there's fury, there's wrath. We've all heard God's wrath. And there's indignation. In the book of Mark, Jesus got very indignant when the disciples would not let the little children come to him.
Right.
So Proverbs 29:22 talks about an angry man stirs up conflict,
Right.
and a hot-tempered man commits many sin.
Right.
So the Bible is covered with
Very
anger.
very much deals with it. Absolutely. Who should attend this group? What is this group for?
Well, this group is for the person who thinks that anger is all wrong and that they've never learned how to constructively, express their anger.
Yeah.
How to be angry.
Yeah.
And sin not.
And sin not, as the scripture says.
I was so out of touch with my own anger for many years. I was seething on the inside, and I had no clue.
How to deal with it, yeah.
Oh, it was just horrific. So when I did, it was very freeing.
Wonderful.
It was very freeing. And it's okay. We need to be aware of our feelings, including our anger.
Yeah.
It's a good tool. It's a God-given gift.
Yes.
It's a valuable tool. It's a guide in helping us determine what's going on inside our heart.
Right.
A lot of people say, "Oh, I shouldn't be angry." You know what I tell them? You should on yourself.
You should on yourself.
So that always kind of gets them.
That's good. That's good.
So it is. It's a
Should
good
on
comeback.
yourself. I'm going to use that on Kelsey during worship and weather. He's never going to see it coming. People sometimes have different views on the best way to handle their anger. What are the different views in your opinion and your experience?
Well, the book covers two views. One is that you should just give full vent.
Yeah.
Just explode.
let it out. Yeah.
And we know people that have done that, and they have very little friends.
Yeah.
But their anger can be so fierce that it just it runs over any common sense. And people say they cannot handle their anger.
Right.
And I said, yes, you can. You can learn. You've got to learn how to do it. These are things that we have to be taught. We're not born with this peace in our heart. Quite the opposite.
Right.
And it's been modeled to us, and that's how we learn it. The other view is that all anger is wrong, and that's the view that most Christians hold.
Yes.
Good Christians don't get angry.
Any sign of anger is wrong.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there's a shame that comes with it.
Absolutely. And Moses got angry. He came down off of the Mount Sinai, and saw all the people had built these idols, and he crashed those tablets.
Yeah.
And Jesus got angry when he went into the temple, and he turned the tables because they were money changing there in the temple.
That's great. That's really, really good. Good stuff.
Yeah.
So what are some different topics in the chapters of this book?
Well, one is there's a lot of misconception about anger. There's the silent approach. If we ignore it, it'll just go away.
Right.
That's one of the biggest. Then there's ways we camouflage our anger, and that is, the silent approach, the stamp saver. If we just hold it in and let it build up, then we can cash it in. It's kind of like that green stamp book that James is referred to. I remember those days.
Yeah.
You're too young,
I'm
but
too
I
young
do.
for that. Yeah.
And then also, there is a catastrophic result of our mishandled anger. Our body takes the toll. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Whether it's anger out, which is the full vent, or anger in, which is stuffing it. We've all heard heart attacks, strokes, digestive issues. They've even linked cancer to anger.
Wow.
Some types of cancer. Weak immune system. I think I said digestive. There's just all kinds of stuff, and people are not aware of it.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. That's
so it's for anybody, really.
Yeah.
Because we've all had experienced, not knowing how to handle our anger.
So this would be a great class then for anyone who struggles with anger, or maybe anyone who is trying to figure out how to deal with someone who has anger.
Absolutely.
So you may not struggle with anger, but you may be in a relationship or a family member who does, and you just need to better understand the topic of anger.
That person that gives full vent, it can usually end up in somebody else.
Yeah.
And that's the person that's I don't know what to do here. How do I handle this?
That's
somebody
great.
else's anger.
How many weeks?
It's 12 weeks, plus the intro. The book, there's a small book and then a workbook. Alan put together a workbook when he was here. And it just covers some of the stuff in the book. And it's $10 for both.
Okay.
Total.
Easy.
$10 total.
Easy. Some of you, just as a side note, we've mentioned him twice before. Alan McBrayer. For those of you who are new around here, you never probably got the pleasure of meeting Alan in person. Alan now lives in Houston. And is involved in a church down there. He moved down there to be closer with his family and grandchildren. But Alan was one of the founding pastors here along with James. He was the executive pastor for many, many, many years. Yeah. He is responsible for a great deal of my own approach to writing Bible study curriculum. In fact, the Bible study lessons that I put together each week are very inspired by the work that he used to do here.
Yeah.
And Alan and I used to be the first two people in the office every morning, and we would always make coffee and sit and talk about whatever it was we were studying, and just a really, really remarkable man. So you're kind of getting to see a little bit of the legacy he left behind here as well in this workbook. He was a preeminent Bible scholar, and but just had a lot of practical knowledge as well when it came to this kind of stuff. So.
Our kids, our son and his son played baseball together years ago.
Wes.
Early grade school. And so that's the first time we met him.
That's awesome.
So when we came here the first time, which was during that period, I saw him and I went, "Oh, y'all go here too?"
Yeah.
I had no clue.
Had no idea he was on staff.
He was one of the pastors.
And if you're a real long-time East Sider, McBrayer Piano, the McBrayer Piano Shop, I think is what it was called, on Lancaster.
Yes.
That was Alan. That was his family. His dad started that store, and then he took it over, and before he called into full-time ministry. And actually his brother is still a member here and one of my Bible study teachers, Brian McBrayer. So
and their business is still going.
And their business is still going, yeah.
I had a guy that came out a few weeks ago and tuned our piano.
No kidding.
Yeah. And he knew them very well. He was not part of them,
yeah.
but he knew them
Doing very well. Well, very good. Well, thank you for being on. I'm not going to let you go just yet. We are going to take a quick break, and then we are going to play a little game together. So you get the joy of playing a game on the morning show. So we will do that right after a quick break. Okay, so the game we're playing today is called the Whisper Challenge. Now, we've played this game before. I played this with, I don't even remember all who. I think Morgan was one of the people who we played with, and Shamika.
Oh,
we've done some
fun.
theological whisper challenges. Today, we're doing a freedom group whisper
right up
challenge.
my alley.
Right up your alley. So here's how it works. We have some headphones here. One of us will put the headphones on, and our studio in the back will click play, and it will be very loud.
Okay.
These are noise canceling, so you will hear nothing but what is in the headphones. And while the person who has the headphones on is listening, the other one of us will take these cards and read them, and you are to try to read my words and guess what it is I'm saying.
Okay.
So, why don't you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Sure.
You want to go first?
Yeah.
All right. So we'll put these on, and we. Oh man.
Do I look all right?
Oh yes.
I'm not staying on very.
Yes. All right. Let's get the music going. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Oh.
I heard you.
Uh-oh. Can she hear me now?
No, I read your lips. I'm
Read
sorry.
my lips. There we go. Or did she? If she gets every one of these right, we'll know. Okay, here we go. ABCs of life change for every Christian.
What?
ABCs of life change for every Christian.
One more time.
ABCs of life change for every Christian.
Something about how many life change something, right?
Close. ABCs of life change for every Christian. We'll pass. Okay. Breaking the cycle of hurtful family relationships.
What?
Breaking the
cycle of family relationships.
Yeah, she got it. All right, here we go. Making peace with your past. Yeah, now we're cooking with gas. Here we go. Love and respect.
Huh?
Love and respect.
Love and respect.
Yeah, wow, she's killing it. Here we go. Grief share.
Yeah. I like this music.
Yeah. Pure hope.
What? Oh, pure hope.
Yeah. All right, here we go. This is the first one. ABCs of life change.
ABCs of life
Christian. She got it. Yeah. All right. That was awesome. It took you a minute to get warmed up, but then you were on fire. You nailed it. All right.
That was fun.
That was great. That was absolutely. So you had the life change. That was the first one that you struggled with, and we passed.
Oh, it was.
And then you got all the others, and when we came back to it, you hit the first one.
Okay.
You just had to get in rhythm. All right.
That's awesome.
So here we go. Headphones are on. Oh, he's not giving me the same music.
Oh,
He's
God.
giving me thrasher
Metallica.
death metal. All right. Let's get it started. And
Yeah,
all right.
right.
I can hear nothing.
I know. You can't.
Nothing. I have no idea what you're saying.
But you just said, I said, what am I saying?
Still no idea.
Okay. Are we ready?
All right. Say it again.
Band of Brothers.
Bad flip-flop weather. Say it again.
No. Band of Brothers. Band of Brothers.
One more time.
Band of Brothers.
Boundaries?
No.
No. All right.
Okay. Hurts and anger.
Ocean.
No. Hurts and anger.
I have no idea what you were saying. All right.
My favorite. Search for significance.
Search for significance.
Yes.
Oh, I got it.
Compelled to control.
Say it one more time.
Compelled to control.
I'm seeing Murderer's Row.
Kind of. Compelled to control.
I don't know.
Conquering codependency.
Say it one more time.
Conquering codependency.
Conquering codependency.
Yes.
Woo. Hold on. This is still kind of quiet. I want to make sure it's skipping in. This is like island music.
You know, I'm literally whispering.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Say it.
Fearless series for women.
Fearless series for women.
Yes.
Try those first two again. I want to see if I can get them.
Band of Brothers.
Say it again.
Band of Brothers.
Band of Brothers.
Hurts and anger.
Say again.
Hurts and anger.
Horse and cattle.
That's right.
Hurts and anger. Wow.
Oh my gosh, that was fun.
That was great.
That was
great. You
very
clearly
good.
beat me quite badly.
Well, good.
But this
the
is
first
your
time I've ever won.
This is your field, though. I mean, you should beat me.
That
Band of
was so
Brothers,
funny.
Man, Murderer's Row. I don't know.
What'd you say? Something in cows?
Yeah, horse and cattle. I don't know. There were some weird ones in there.
That was so fun.
Isn't that good?
Yes.
It's a good game.
Thank you.
It's a good game. Well, thank you for being on the show.
Absolutely, I enjoyed it.
We will need to have you on here again.
Would love it.
Every time we offer new freedom groups, we're planning on doing some of these exposés. I don't know, when we have like 7 of them that we're offering, I don't know that we'll do 7 weeks in a row, but maybe
Yes.
we'll offer 3 or 4 again that kind of highlight ones that we didn't do the last time.
Absolutely. I think it's a great idea.
I do too.
Because people don't really know what these books are about.
Right.
Or what these
well,
groups are about.
And I think even more than that, it's important for people to meet the people who are leading them.
Absolutely.
You're so behind the scenes so often,
Yeah.
and it's good for people to see you and hear hear your thoughts on these things.
Thank you.
And see you beat me in playing the games that we're playing. Coming up next, we have a very mysterious special guest on the show. We will be right back. Well, here we are with the mythical, legendary, founding pastor, former senior pastor,
The bad influence.
the bad influence himself, Dr. James Reeves. Glad to have you on the show.
Yeah, good to be here.
Wanted to bring you on and talk about what you are just kind of living and breathing right now, which is the new Fearless series.
Yeah. Well, a lot has happened within the last 5 or 6 weeks. We got the website finally finished. We got it where it is actually... This is pretty incredible technology, what they can do now with streaming. We got it set up where the Fearless series can be streamed from the Fearless website 24 hours a day, anywhere in the world.
Awesome.
That's pretty amazing. And back when I was in school, you mentioned the degree, I had to actually physically go to the library to do my research for my doctorate, and now you can do it online. And just the technology is just phenomenal what it has done. And we actually have a number of churches around the country that have actually already purchased the rental for we're renting the videos, not selling them. Makes the cost down and less upfront cost to a church.
Churches, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so it's less risk.
Yeah.
But we've had churches church in Massachusetts is starting tomorrow night.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Terrence Church in San Antonio is about to do a Fearless series. There's a church in Pennsylvania. So there's some things that are happening, but it's just it's a slow process of getting the word out.
Right.
And also, one of the things that we faced is people going, well, who are you?
Right. There's always some jack putting together some video.
Yeah. Somebody's always putting something together, and who's going to take a risk on it? That kind of thing. So we've been working on getting endorsements, and that's so important. And through the years, God has given me I kind of talk about the fact that I'm nobody, but I know a lot of somebody.
Right.
And it's really funny that right here on the east side of Fort Worth for 37 years, nobody really knows who I am that much, and but. People know who a lot of these national ministries are.
Right.
That God has given me the ability to have a personal relationship with the presidents of these associations or these ministries. And so within just the last week, we've landed 2 national endorsements that are actually on our webpage now, endorsed by, and there's a link that when you click on that, it goes right to that ministry's website, and they've put us on their website.
Wonderful.
So when they have, a lot of these ministries have women's resource pages. And they put resources that they trust, that they can recommend. And so when women come to their site for whatever reason, they go to that and see. And so the Fearless series is on their women's resource page. That's Pure Desire Ministry out of Oregon.
Yep.
Nick Stumbo has become a real good friend of mine. Nick is the CEO. That was Ted Roberts' ministry. Yeah. Ted Roberts is the one that started that ministry and was the Conquer series.
Conquer series, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which we do at this church.
Yes, and the main dude. And I had the privilege of being on that. And that's one of the ways I got to know Nick. Ted Roberts has had health issues, and probably 7 years ago, he stepped down from that, and Nick Stumbo now is the president. And so I spoke at the Pure Desire National Men's Conference in Seattle about 4 or 5 years ago, and got to know Nick from that. And Nick has been a great friend.
Awesome. Of
the Fearless series, and a great supporter. So they gave their endorsement, and also Be Broken Ministries out of San Antonio, which is Jonathan Doherty is his name. Okay. And Be Broken is one of those very respected ministries. And Jonathan actually watched all 5 videos.
Wow.
He said, our policy is we can't endorse something until we see it all. And so they did. They went through, and he said, wow, absolutely. And so this week he allowed us to put their logo on our website.
Super.
And they put us on there. And there are 2 or 3 others that I won't mention right now. One of them, if we get that endorsement, it will be
a game changer.
It'll be a game changer.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, these are all very well-known and respected national ministries, but the one that I'm talking about is one that people who aren't even involved in all this help, hope, and healing type work, they'll know who they are.
Yeah.
And if you're a Christian in really almost in the world, you're going to know who this ministry is. And so we're getting an opportunity, and if that happens, then some good things I think are going to happen. I'm planning trips right now. I have a group on the ground in Tulsa, Oklahoma, who are putting together a meeting for me to go up there next month in July to present the series to leaders of all the churches around in the Tulsa area. We're working on one in Oklahoma City, working on one in Lubbock, Texas, and then Reno, Nevada.
Nice.
So we're just I'm trying to utilize the time that the church has given me now that you get all the complaints. And I'm just responsible for what we do on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
I'm trying to utilize that time to get the word out. It's really interesting. One of the things that I'm discovering as I've started trying to get this into the hands of ministry leaders is there's not a real big appetite for this subject.
No.
Out there in the church.
It's one of those I think that most people want to forget about.
They actually do. And I think there's a couple of reasons why there's not a great appetite. One of them is they just don't know.
Right.
They don't understand.
Right.
Of course, most senior leaders in churches are pastors.
Right.
And we know that men basically don't get it. They don't really have an understanding of how prevalent the sexual abuse of women is. But I'm also discovering that women don't have the understanding. Many women, if they've not experienced it, it goes on, we know that, it's a bad thing, but they have no clue of the extent.
Right.
The 1 out of 3 women in every church on Sunday morning has experienced that and never told me. And I think the reason for the lack of appetite is because it is the most underreported crime in America. All of the women on the Fearless series said that. And these are professionals who have experienced it but are also helping women. They say, this is the most underreported crime in America. And so because most women who have experienced it have never told anyone, then the women, two things happen. The woman who hasn't experienced it doesn't really realize how often it happens because nobody's talking about it.
Right.
The woman who has experienced often feels like she's the only one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Right.
And so all of this is going on.
Right.
But because it's not being reported as much and because it's not being talked about in churches, everybody assumes, we know it happens because we hear it on the news.
Right.
But not here.
No.
Women in our church have not.
We're a nice church.
Yeah, we're a nice church. We're nice people,
Right.
and it surely didn't happen to any of the women here when they were children or adolescents or adults. And so it just kind of, when you talk about this, it's kind of this idea. Well, man, that's great that you're doing that, but we don't really need that.
Right.
And so I'm really, in fact, that's why we did the first video actually on the prevalence.
Yep.
Because I realized we've got to answer the objection right off the bat. Getting people to look at it is the first step. And what I've discovered is once people do, they go nuts.
Yeah.
So it's just trying to get out there and be present, have people endorsing it, getting people to take the time to go and watch the trailer and then get an opportunity to look at some of the videos. I'm doing another national interview on Thursday with Be Broken, as a matter of fact, out of San Antonio, and then doing a Facebook Live deal for someone who is an influencer.
Okay.
Debbie Boyd.
Yeah.
Was a member here.
Yeah.
Her husband is a former naval aviator, and he's been a pilot for Delta ever since he got out of the military. They live now in Tulsa. And Debbie is an incredible influencer. Mm-hmm. She's one of the top road and fields representatives in the nation.
She's a pistol.
She's a pistol. And Debbie and Mike were saved here, baptized them, and then they moved off to LA where their children became movie stars. Yeah. Both of their kids are in Hollywood. And so Debbie has taken this thing. Yeah. And she has really seen the value of it. And so she's doing a Facebook Live with hundreds of people that follow her. And I'm pretty excited about that.
That's going to be amazing.
Just, our church people, if you just share the website, you just talk about it, I mean, that's the only way it's going to happen.
Yep.
Share. People talking. Yeah.
Use social media for something good, right? There's a lot of bad social media usage out there. Use it for good, and pray. Pray for churches to open themselves up to this topic. It's a difficult topic. It's for all the reasons that James just mentioned, and one thing I'm encouraged by is when you did the Conquer series now, what was that, 10 years ago?
About 10 years ago, yeah.
I mean, I think for the first few years, it was just kind of a group that we did here. And then it seems like since then, we have had so many people reach out to us or even come to us as a result of that. And it wasn't something that just happened overnight. And so...
No, it had to get legs.
It had to get legs.
Yeah. Because obviously men doing pornography in the church is not a subject there's a lot of appetite for.
No.
But I think the men's struggle with pornography and stuff is easier to talk about than it is for a woman to talk about sexual abuse. It is more kind of expected. Yeah. Boys will be boys, at least that mindset. And so churches were more adept or more willing to adopt the Conquer series to help their guys than they are about this subject because it is just so secretive.
It is.
But the Conquer series for me, when I was invited to present on that, opened a lot of doors that I never dreamed that I would have opened for me. Yeah. And I get invitations from churches all over the country who are doing the Conquer series. They meet me on that and they contact me. And so that's just in the sovereignty of God. Yep. These little steps along the way. That's how I got to know Nick Stumbo, Doug Weiss, a lot of these people that are influencers around the country. People that don't know me, but they know who these people are. So, even before I ever dreamed of doing something like the Fearless series, just like God was just kind of preparing to get me to a place where there were people who had the ability to take it places I never could. Yeah.
And it probably started before that with Refuge.
Well, yeah, Refuge. My book Refuge was published, and I got some notice about that. Yep. There 15 people read it, I think, maybe, or whatever. But right on the heels of that with the Conquer series, that really promoted Refuge. The Conquer series did. Yeah. And then got me out in front of people. So it's just really funny how I look back on it and I can just see the hand of God, but it's taken 10 or 11 years.
It has.
And I'm not real patient.
No.
I mean, I think Fearless Syria ought to be in every church yesterday.
Right now. Right. Yes.
No, not now. Yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just doesn't work that way. So,
well, pray for those churches and pray for these endorsements, because these couple endorsements that are kind of in the works right now really could be humongous game changers for James and for the series and for the church. And that's one thing that I've wanted to continue to reiterate to people, that I've told James before behind the scenes. I hope that he stops preaching here this year.
Yeah, just about the time you start working on your doctorate.
Right,
that'd be real good timing for me to leave the whole thing to you.
Yeah. But I say that to say that because that would mean that Fearless Series has exploded. Yeah. And if Fearless Series explodes, then ministry, charging the gates of hell is really happening. And we as a church are excited about that, and we benefit from that because we are the sending church for that, and the home for the vision of this thing. And so it's really remarkable what God is doing right now with this ministry, with this initiative. And so pray that He would continue to open doors that we ourselves can't open, because we depend upon Him.
And I'm so thankful that I was able to be in a place like this where the elders supported this project.
Yeah.
Because when I presented this to them, I had no idea how to do what I was presenting to them. I just knew that it needed to be done. And of course, God provided Michael right here, young filmmaker.
Shout out Michael Lewis.
Just did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
And I had some contacts, and I kind of knew where this thing needed to go because we've been doing this work for 30 years.
Right.
And through Vanessa Elswick on our staff, helping women. So I kind of had an idea of where it needed to go, but I just didn't know how to get it there.
Yeah.
And, one thing after another, it just started happening. And had it not been for our elders being willing to say, absolutely, do this thing, it never would have gotten off the ground. So I have to give a word of shout out to thanks and praise to our church body, but also our elders who are out of the body who understand this, and so that's really cool.
They lead with conviction and with the wisdom that God is really working here. So thanks for being here, man.
Yeah.
This is a great update for the church and for anyone else that's watching. Just lots of good things happening and things to continue to pray for. Coming up next, we have Worship and Weather with Pastor Kelsey. We'll be right back.
Hello and good morning and welcome to Worship and Weather with me, Kelsey Barker. This is my protege, Derrick Bledsoe, if you haven't met him earlier. I'm so glad that you're here.
Thank you.
For some, not you, them. I'm glad that they're here for Worship and Weather time.
I'm glad I'm here.
Oh, that's your own prerogative, sir. Here is your Worship and Weather report. Just kidding. I'm glad he's here. I wouldn't know what to do without you. Just kidding. Guys, we've got some interesting news for this coming Sunday. So I don't know if you guys remember, but last Saturday we reported that there wasn't going to be any rain on that Sunday, and there totally was.
Yeah, we were just like real weathermen. Mm-hmm.
So the accuracy and authenticity of this broadcast is
very
nothing
high.
Short but
very high,
incredible,
very authentic.
So let me put a disclaimer out that this is at the time of filming, which is sometime earlier in the week.
Yes.
So we will not reveal the time nor place for security reasons.
It may come as a shock to you, but as you're watching this on Saturday morning, we are actually, in fact, not talking right now live.
What?
That this was actually recorded in 1991.
Wow.
And
how did that work out?
Yeah. So, anyways.
Anywho, that doesn't sound right.
I was 6.
I was not.
You were not.
I was just not.
You young guy.
I'm a youngin. Anyways, guys, after all that banter, here is your weather report for this Sunday. So it appears that we're going to have a high of 81. Mm-hmm. It looks like we have an 11% chance of precipitation, so likely there won't be any rain. It has been raining like crazy.
Yep.
My yard is very tall.
Yep.
Grass-wise right now. But, there's always a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance.
You're telling me there's a chance.
So that's kind of what it's looking like. Lows of 67. We got some light winds. It might be humid. I don't see the humidity report here. Have to talk to our people.
It must be so like not humid that they didn't even want to put it down.
Not even worth talking
Not
about.
even worth talking about.
So that's the weather, guys. Hopefully it'll be a pleasant Sunday, a pleasant day to come to church.
I do know this. It's not the worst day to come to church. And the reason I say that is because the record high for Sunday was 99 degrees. We're 18 degrees projected under that.
That's very good.
That's 18 degrees of reasons why you should be here on Sunday.
And you know, I will say that this upcoming Sunday is the 30th, which is the last Sunday of May.
Right.
So I feel like this month, man,
Just cooking.
just going on.
Absolutely cooking.
It's just passing us by. But you know what's not going to pass us by?
Worship.
A time to worship the Lord
That's
together.
right.
So here's what we've got going on for your worships on this Sunday. So we're going to start off with Raise a Hallelujah.
Raise a hallelujah.
We're going to raise some hallelujahs to the Lord.
Yep.
And then we're going to Stand in Your Love.
Stand in your love.
Together, we're going to sing that. You're going to get out there and give us a welcome.
I'm going to welcome you.
It's you're a very welcoming person.
You know, I try.
You know, I will say that about
I
you.
try.
You just are. You give.
I do.
You give.
It's who I am. What can I say?
Beautiful. After the welcome, we're going to sing King of My Heart. It's going to talk about how He's the shelter where we run.
Yeah.
It's a really great place. And then we're going to build our life on God's love together while we sing Build My Life. It's going to be great. And then I believe you might preach at that point in the service.
Yeah.
Any ideas what you're going to preach on?
We are. We're preaching on a topic that I think is probably one of the happiest and most lovely things to talk about.
I don't think it is.
It's something that you'd find on a Mardell cup.
Really?
Regularly. Yeah. Or a Lifeway cup. Something of that nature. Something that we call total depravity.
Ooh.
The doctrine of total depravity. So let me just say up front.
Maybe if they sold beer steins.
It is a topic that I think gets a bad rap because it's obviously kind of a yucky topic, if you will. But
no one wants to talk about how messed up they are.
No, but the reality is, it is in understanding total depravity that we gain a larger and more complete understanding of the grace, love, and mercy of God.
Right.
And so I think that this message on Sunday is going to be very, very helpful and honestly kind of encouraging in that I think it's going to really unlock the value, the positive side of such a negative topic and a negative doctrine.
Well, and I really believe you can't experience the grace of God fully until you realize how screwed up you are.
Right.
Like if you don't think that you have anything wrong with you, there's no need to experience any forgiveness.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Like you don't need God.
Right.
So realizing your shortcomings is really the first step to realizing how wonderful salvation is.
It's going to be pretty.
Well, we could preach right now.
We could, but we won't.
Hold me back, Derrick.
I will.
Okay.
All that to say, hope to see you on Sunday.
If we don't, we're going to wonder why.
Well, I won't. It'll be the total depravity that's keeping you from church.
Makes sense.
I'm just kidding. The reality is, though, let me just say, a lot of great things happening at City on a Hill. And every Sunday for the last, probably since Easter, really, it's just been kind of different. It's been electric. Lots of new faces, lots of new families, people being baptized. Man, it is a breath of life for me personally, and it's been really interesting over the last several weeks going back through. I look on Time Hop every day. I've got a little casual almost 2,000 day streak going, no big deal, and I'm seeing where we were a year ago, and it's just like, gosh, what a hopeless time a year ago where we weren't even meeting and we're having to film and we're having to
recording our services every Thursday.
Yeah, and everything was just weird, man. And there was just such a lack of community and fellowship, and there was this lack of understanding of like, are we ever going to get out of this? And now just seeing where we are and coming in on Sunday mornings and seeing God's people and just seeing the excitement and the life transformation and the ministry and all the things that are happening. It's really exciting. It's a great time to plug back in if you're not. And so hope to see you on Sunday. Hope to see you tomorrow. Hope to see you come in.
Invite somebody.
Yeah. People need church, man. They need Jesus.
They do.
And
whether or not they realize it.
Exactly. And bait and switch them. Tell them you're bringing them to a concert.
Don't do that.
That's
a bad idea.
Don't do that. That's shady.
People don't like that.
But I do love it. So yeah, I endorse it.
Don't do it.
But hope to see you. Hope to see you on Sunday. Hope to see you and your family and your friends, and see you inviting people and be a part of something really special that's happening right now. Until then, make sure that above anything else, you have a good morning, City on a Hill.